What's going on, America? It is your host, John Burke, with the All-American Savage Show podcast here on my own, by myself for the next, today is what, Thursday, Friday? So Josh will be back in, I believe it is Monday. He's on a vacation with his family, well-deserved. We don't miss him because fuck that guy. Nah, I'm just kidding. What's going on, America? Thank you for tuning in today. A lot going on in the world, a lot going on here in Shell Shock, a lot going on all over the place, quite honestly. It's just, I feel like I'm having to move a lot of different pieces and try and track various different things. But I want to open the program today by letting you know that my Discord channel, in the gamer world, Discord is kind of like where you can do chats and stuff like that, has now been branded not safe for work, which I believe is also going to come with the added wonderful bonus of them now throttling the engagement, the reach, and stuff like that. Which brings us to the point of the Telegram channel that we have for the American Savage Show. There is the link. I'm sharing the link in the chat rooms. If you want to go join us, you can go check it out. It's pretty easy. The link is there. It's on Telegram. Just research John Burke or type in John Burke. It should pop up. You can go join our Telegram chat over there, and it's going to be able to, it'll allow you to kind of converse with other people. You're not going to get banned for the dumb shit that Discord's shutting people down for, things like that. There are rules. No porn. Can't post porn over there because they will shut the channel down. Plus, I don't want that crap in there anyway. It's a good chat room. Great group of people. We got the Lost Savages over there. So go check that out. Again, just look it up on the Telegram app. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. If you want to stay in the know and not have to worry about getting banned, that's just the way to do it. Oh my gosh. Whoopi Goldberg. I don't know what's going on with this woman. I don't get this. I mean, we all know why she's still on The View. Because she's black. Because she's a minority. Whoopi Goldberg, we're going to get straight into the news today. Whoopi Goldberg is, she's essentially under fire again for using the slur, which we've discussed on this show before, getting gypped. Now, if you've heard that before, it references gypsies. Because back during the day, they were known for basically going back on their word. Yet, I don't care if this offends people. It's just a fact that's how it was. They call it getting gypped. Now, whether or not you agree with that in this day and age, I really don't care. But she used this slur, this racial slur, I guess is what they're calling it, and nothing's happening to her. Now, isn't it just ironic to me how we look at leftists and how they have this approach to justice and equality and tolerance and yada, 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 and they will go after anybody that does not toe the line with their narrative. So when you use any type of racial slur, you say an offensive joke, anything of that nature, they cancel you. They will come after you in the name of truth and justice and being good people, because ultimately it's just about virtue signaling how good of a person you really think that you are, even though at core you're probably not. But this just goes to serve that, or show rather, that if you're black, you can get away with literally everything. You just look at Don Lemon. Don Lemon, the newscaster at the failing CNN, has said more times than not some very just, and I don't even consider it offensive because I'm just not a bitch, but some very stupid things. And he's still around. Whoopi Goldberg, if this was a white person, well, I can't even say that now because clearly Joy Behar has said some just incredibly ridiculous racist crap. Joy Reid over on MSNBC, same thing. Democrats do not hold their own accountable. They never have and they never will. Whoopi Goldberg apologizes for using an ethnic slur on The View. She says, I'm really, really sorry. Whoopi Goldberg is back, walking back her words on The View. The longtime talk show host posted an apology to Twitter after this morning's show, where she admitted she should have thought longer about her words before using a slur on air. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your apologies. These apologies mean nothing. This is how stupid they are, folks. This is how dumb it's become. Shifting my icon around on the screen. Do people really give a shit about this anymore? It just seems like we're always apologizing for something these days. Goldberger used the word, and they don't even spell it out on Microsoft, or this is from the Decider. Gypped. The only reason I knew is it started with GY, then they do dash, 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 and then a D. It's like most people are like, what the hell is this? What does this even mean? Gypped. Is it really that bad? No, it's not. You know, when you're a certain age, you use words that you know from when you were a kid or you remember saying. And that's what I did today, and I shouldn't have, Goldberg said. She continued, I should have thought a little bit longer before I said it, but I didn't. I should have said cheated, and I used another word, and I'm really, really sorry. The clip was captioned. But again, cool, whatever. You want to apologize? I don't give a shit. But the fact is, where's the cancel culture? Where's the outrage? Where's any? It just doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist. I thought it was just the dumbest thing I've ever seen. It's Whoopi, though. One of the biggest race baiters out there, one of the most ignorant people when it comes to various different topics. Like, I'm sorry, The View is just one of the dumbest shows. If you watch The View, I think that you're just kind of stupid. Not kind of, you are stupid, but that is what it is. I wanted to bring that up, though, because it's just another testament to how leftist hypocrisy exists within their own echo chambers in their televised nonsensical bullshit drivel that they have continuously spewing out of these middle-aged, ugly, unfuckable women's mouths. Ugh. Well, Kamala Harris, you see these stories come across your feed, and you're just like, what do you say to this? Like, sincerely, what do you say to this? You just have to look at this and go, this is what was elected and what was nominated by a rich white liberal. This is what affirmative action gets you. Kamala Harris has trouble defining vice president's job in the Late Show with Stephen Colbert appearance. Battling persistently low approval ratings across party lines, Vice President Kamala Harris appeared Wednesday on CBS's The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, who's, by the way, not funny at all. Cringe is like an understatement. In the latest attempt to burnish her public image. But Harris stumbled badly when she seemed either unable or unwilling to define the vice president's job. Harris avoided answering the questions by praising President. Hold on. During the awkward exchange, host Stephen Colbert asked Harris to explain what is the actual role on a daily basis of the vice president. I can tell you what it's not. It's not going down to the border. She's not down there. Instead, she was going to Guatemala and other places. And did you see, I talked about this before, the thousands of illegal immigrants. And I love how people are now calling them migrants on social media. No, they're illegal immigrants. They're calling them migrants that there was like over 1,000 tried to bum rush a bridge in El Paso. They got thwarted, and then they went to another bridge. How can you not say that this is an invasion? It is an invasion. No other country would deal with something so ridiculous, but we have such weak leadership now. It's nuts to me. This is what people wanted. This is what they elected. And now you have Putin just going crazy. You got the world on the brink of just destruction, all because of Joe Biden's weak leadership. This guy can't do anything right. Harris avoided answering the question by praising President Joe Biden. Well, I have the great privilege of serving with Joe Biden, who is president of the United States. That doesn't answer anything. That's not an answer to the question. She said to thunderous applause from the studio audience, right, exactly right. For those that are listening and not watching the actual Rumble stream, this is me sitting here just looking aghast at how stupid this woman and these simp followers are. I am just in. How do people eat this up so willingly? You just sit there and they ask you a question like, well, what would you say you do here? Well, I get to serve with Joe Biden. And everybody's like, oh, yeah, that's so great. Like, really? Echo chambers. Echo chambers to the nth degree. She added, and was vice president. Colbert replied, does he understand what it's like to be a vice president? He does. And he really is a true partner, and he understands the job here. And you still haven't even defined what the job is. You still haven't even defined what the job consists of. You just say that you're vice president. Okay, cool. But, so, try and change the scene around real quick. This is what I love about this. This is how stupid these people are. And nobody has an issue with this. The crowds just eat this up. And people just, no, nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. We love it. Works great. This is what we voted for. Folks, we are living in an age where stupid people are running this, I shouldn't even just say country, the world. I would say I'm in disbelief, but I'm really not. She continued, but he's an extraordinary leader, and I wish people could see what I see. People do see what you see. In fact, I would instead counter that with, you're not seeing what the people see. This is a guy with insanely low approval ratings. The economy is in the tank. You're bailing out these SVB banks, or the one rather. You've got record high inflation. You've got we're in a recession, and more is to come from what they're predicting. Biden goes on a podcast and endorses genital mutilation for children. And people just eat this up. They eat this up. I've noticed on Twitter now, the counter to when you're bringing up these child-friendly drag shows is that it's only happening in one. You guys are overreacting. It's not everywhere. People are literally living with their heads in the sand, and they refuse to acknowledge that we are being affronted and assaulted by degeneracy stemming from the LGBT. Despite another round of enthusiastic audience applause, Colbert didn't let Harris off the hook. That's an excellent answer. And the question was, what is the job of the vice president? Colbert joked, and your answer is part of the job, I'm guessing. Still avoiding the question, Harris then launched into an anecdote about her appearance at the recent Munich Security Conference, where she declared that Russia has committed crime. I love this. Deflect, deflect, deflect. What is your job? What do you do? Well, Russia. No. Russia. No, nobody's talking about Russia. We want to know, what is it exactly that you do? But, history will remember her as being the first black female vice president. But nobody will be able to tell you what the fuck she actually did. I'm at a loss on this one. And people eat it up. They eat it up. 81 million votes, folks. 81 million votes. That's appalling to me. All right. BLM turned conservative decries San Francisco selling oppression via reparations plan. For those that don't know, San Francisco is basically looking over a bill that could provide black families up to $5 million in reparations. No, this is not a joke. Is it going to pass? Probably not. I think this is just more bait to get minorities to go vote for Democrats. It's a typical tactic they always use. It's like, hey, if you're black, if you're a minority, you feel oppressed, you're broke, you're poor, yada, yada, yada. Well, then if you vote for me, I'm going to try and pass this reparations bill that's going to give families $5 million. And no one has a problem with this. But again, I don't think it's going to go through. I really don't. Xavier DeRousseau calls Plan 111 ways to gaslight black Americans into feeling dependent. A former Black Lives Matter activist ripped his one-time ideology Wednesday after San Francisco's board expressed support for reparations. Xavier, and I've seen this guy on Twitter, he's actually very intelligent. I love what he has to say. Now a PragerU personality who said he has ties to the Bay Area, told Ingram Angle the plan is a case of social justice virtue signaling to indoctrinate minorities into feeling oppressed. Yes, the victim mentality is a very, very addictive thing. Look at the trans agenda in America. Everyone's a victim suddenly. Because when we embrace this victimhood or this victim mentality, we then forfeit any responsibility, no personal responsibility. It's always somebody else's fault. Usually it falls on white people. It's normally our fault because we're just so bad. I think it's important that, first of all, we call this exactly what it is. This is 111 ways to gaslight black Americans into thinking that we need to be dependent on a system of handouts in order to be successful. DeRousseau said, adding he once believed the left-wing claims. He is 100% accurate. I've said this so many different times. It's like a drug dealer. The government is a fiscal drug dealer to minorities. If they can get you on the government handouts, subsidy programs, welfare, Section 8, all this other stuff, you are going to continue voting for that which gives you money. Black people fall victim to this on the left. I shouldn't even say fall victim. You're just too stupid to realize it. That's just all it is to it. This guy clearly gets it. He understands what this is. And it's white liberals that are doing this, to include black liberals that are making bank off of the backs of fellow black liberals through your votes and things similar to that. They keep you poor. Folks, why does nobody ask the question, why is it that these minorities, according to their own, are still poor after so much Democratic leadership in these shithole blue states? Why is that? They don't ask these questions. Instead, it's just, as long as the MSM can keep us going at each other's throats, the real questions are not going to be asked, and they're certainly not going to be answered. He said, Black Americans have been indoctrinated with these lies for far too long, and I used to fall for the lies until I took a deep dive into the videos on PragerU.com and realized how easily debunked these fraudulent narratives sounding systemic racism actually are. You know, I had a conversation with a friend, and they talked about how, you know, the system is racist. Like, well, explain that to me. Where is the system racist? Racist, excuse me. Where? Show me. Which law? And they can never show you. They can never tell you anything. It's just, it's strictly by emotion. It's strictly by emotion. Host Laura Ingram reported officials in the city are dangling money, property, and debt forgiveness prospects at potential benefactors, asking if such promises will instead blow up in their face. I had a tweet from this one account that I thought was just very well done, because this is a topic that people don't want to talk about. Let me find it here. On my Twitter, John Berkey, JOHNBURKY. Go follow me on Twitter. Where is this tweet? Hold on. Here, this was in regards to the reparations, the $5 million reparations. This is from Redskins 2299. He says, take it from someone who grew up on a reservation where they handed out free per cap checks. It don't get anyone out of poverty. It does make white business owners very rich, though. Now listen to this. Poor minorities equate useless stuff with wealth. You want to have some real talk? You want to have some real conversations? He's 100% right. We can't talk about that, folks. You can't have discussions about cultural issues in America in regards to what equates to wealth. I'm sorry. These stereotypes exist from a kernel of truth. When you're dropping hundreds of dollars on a pair of Jordans, when you're dropping hundreds or thousands of dollars on shit for your piece of shit car, and you equate that to wealth, and you're not learning how to invest, how to start companies, businesses, but instead you are blowing it on cosmetic bullshit, that is not a sign of wealth. The ultimate goal is to give money, I would imagine, for Democrats, to give money in order to help facilitate, you know, growing the economy, getting minorities out there, opening companies, businesses, things like that. But you see, here's the beautiful part about this. Democrats know this. Democrats know this. They know this about minorities. They know black people will blow that money. Not all of them, of course not. But they know exactly what they're going to do. So what does it really do? It's clearly virtue signaling, hey, I want to help. I want to give you money. But they know damn good and well this is not going to fix the issue. This is pandering. Pandering for votes. And you can't have these conversations on YouTube and things like that because they will ban you. Why don't we start acknowledging certain stereotypes exist from a kernel of truth because they're fucking true? Well, John, it's a generalization. That means it happens generally more times than not. Therefore, there's a lot of truth to it. We are living in a state of denial, and Republicans are joining them on this. Oh, don't acknowledge race. No. There are certain truths to this that we have to acknowledge in order to get to the bottom of it and fix the issue. If black culture in America equates the wrong things to wealth and they're not investing their money intelligently, what are we supposed to do to fix this problem? Throwing more money at it is not going to fix it. There has to be a cultural shift, and that has to come from within. Now, we can have conversations on economically, how blacks in the ghettos are not likely to get out of there. How do we fix this? How do we fix the schools? But there has to be some responsibility taken by the black community in these liberal shitholes and saying, look, what are you doing to fix this? I'm just saying. And people don't want to have these conversations. The former BLM activist said that most critics are more concerned with the $5 million prescribed to each black family, but the truly worst prospect is the proposal is a plan to sell homes for as low as $1 to black Americans. So how are you teaching somebody to save? How are you teaching somebody to invest? You're not. The whole teach a man to fish versus give a man a fish, it applies here. But people don't want to acknowledge this. As an American and someone who used to live in San Francisco Bay Area, it's disgusting to me that we are more focused on slavery, which ended in 1865, than we're focused on the veterans who are on the streets of San Francisco, homeless and begging for spare change in 2023, he said. Now, again, just because he's probably not a veteran doesn't know, it's like, well, just by virtue of having veterans on the street, my question is, why are they on the street? Was it neglect from the VA and getting them help psychologically so they turn to drugs? Are they there because of their poor choices they made in the past? Just by virtue of being a veteran does not give you a get out of jail free card or get off the streets card when you make stupid decisions. PTSD or not, if you stick that needle in your arm, you smoke that crack, whatever the case may be, you know what you're doing. Ingram later said that many in the woke crowd who support such endeavors rarely want to bankroll the exorbitant proposals. They never do, DeRousseau agreed. If I went up to a white liberal and handed them my Venmo account, they wouldn't send me any money, but they're the first people to demand reparations because it's just another level of them virtue signaling. People, they're waking up. People are starting to see this. White liberals are using minorities, specifically black people, as pawns. They don't give a fuck about you. If they did give a fuck about you, they would lay out a path before you saying, this is the way forward to get you out of the lower economic class into the middle class. Let's teach about investing. Let's teach about business ownership. Let's teach about these things. But instead, it's just, hey, vote for Obama. He gives change. Vote for somebody based upon their color of their skin. Well, then we got Kamala Harris, who got to where she is by being on her knees. She's not qualified to do the job. Clearly, she sucks. She's horrible. But hey, as long as she's black, it's okay. Instead, he said pro-reparations and BLM activists are content to enrich themselves selling books and other curricula. CRT, all this other crap. It is a massive grift. A massive grift. And people fall victim to it. Ultimately, what's the basis of it is white guilt. Get a certain group of people that have the majority of the money, get them to feel guilty, and then watch them just shell it out. Whew. Interesting. Oh, well. Well, it doesn't stop there. Failed Silicon Valley, the one SVB that we're talking about in the news that's been all over the place, gave Black Lives Matter over $73 million. I think there's a joke in there to be made in regards to black culture in America, how those BLM leaders and organizers stole from their own. I think it's almost kind of like poetic justice in a sense. It's like black on black crime, things such as this. Clearly showcasing a massive cultural issue within the black community in America. And I don't call them African Americans. They're not from Africa. They're from America. They're black Americans. I'm a white American. Am I an Irish American? No, because my ancestors hailed from Ireland and Germany. I'm a white American. We have to change all of this bullshit, this ridiculousness. Silicon Valley Bank, whose collapse last week has triggered a global banking crisis, donated over $73 million to Black Lives Matter BLM movement, but found itself unable to pay depositors in a cash crunch. Well, at least their freaking UK-based risk strategy person was out doing LGBT things. Not even lying about that. I forget her name. She's the black lesbian. Out there just making shit happen. You can't make this up, folks. What are people going to learn? Stop hiring based upon minority. Start hiring based upon the ability to perform in a certain job. This shit's ridiculous. SVB is case in point. As Breitbart News reported last week, SVB's donations were part of nearly $83 billion that the Black Lives Matter movement received from corporate America, as documented by a Claremont Institute database. As a point of reference, $82.9 billion is more than the GDP of 46 African countries. In 2022, the Ford Motor Company's profits were $23 billion. They also noted the sum of $82.9 million includes more than just $123 million to the BLM parent organizations directly, as well as much more to other organizations supporting BLM's agenda. I still remember not even a year ago, the BLM chapter in Kentucky saying, we haven't seen a dime of that money. We've seen nothing. Josh is not in Greece. Why are people saying Greece? So the people that it was meant to go for and help, not a dime. Stealing from their own. Don't talk about that. Don't you dare talk about that. There comes a point where you have to acknowledge certain things. And I think black culture in America needs a microscope put on it. It really does, or a magnifying glass put on it. It really does. But you can't do that, because if you do, you're a racist. But there's no issue putting that magnifying glass, even a microscope, on white Americans. We're the target of a lot of bullshit out there. Do it towards black. Uh-oh. Case in point, look at Whoopi. Still has a job. Didn't she talk about how the Holocaust wasn't a race issue? I mean, she said some really... Now, do I give a fuck what she says? No, of course not. Do I think she'd be canceled? No. But this is leftist standards. So why don't you do it? And again, we all know why. We all know why, folks. It's ridiculous. It's kind of sad if you think about it. But this is what Democrats want. I didn't know this about Fortnite. I mean, I don't play Fortnite. I tried it once or twice. I just thought it was a dumb game. If you're a parent, you need to be watching what your kids are playing, folks, because listen to this. Dark Patterns. Fortnite creator Epic Games is to pay $245 million in FTC settlement. Epic Games, the company behind the mega popular video game Fortnite, has been ordered by the Federal Trade Commission to pay $245 million to customers. The federal agency claimed Fortnite players were tricked into making in-game purchases using dark patterns. Now watch how they did this. This is smooth. This is how slimy these companies can be. Game developer reports that Epic Games, the creator of popular okay. Let me get to the okay. FTC claims that Epic Games tricked players into making unnecessary purchases using dark patterns and permitted minors to accrue unauthorized charges without parental supervision. The oversight body detailed a complaint in December of 2022 that focused on the company's use of a variety of design tricks, commonly known as dark patterns, that result in unintended in-game purchases by users of all age. Folks, if you've got a game linked to a credit card or whatever, you know. According to the FTC's complaint, Fortnite's counterintuitive, inconsistent, and confusing button configuration led to unintended charges being applied to players with just one button press. The business also made it simple for kids to buy things without their parents' permission. Epic allegedly locked the accounts of customers disputing unauthorized charges with their credit card companies. In a statement made public in December of 2022, Epic Games stated that it never intended to deceive players. Yeah, bullshit. You don't launch something like that without some kind of intent. That's shady practice right there. That's very shady. No developer creates a game with the intention of ending up here. The video game industry is a place for fast-moving innovation where player expectations are high and new ideas are paramount. Statutes written decades ago don't specify how gaming ecosystems should operate, wrote Epic Games. No, but it is common sense that you should not make it accessible for a 10-year-old to make purchases on their account because it's linked with their parents' credit card. You knew what they knew what they were doing. This is justified. You knew what you were doing. Epic emphasized its dedication to leading the way in consumer protection and giving players the best experience possible. The laws have not changed, but their application has evolved and long-standing industry practices are no longer enough. We accepted this agreement because we want Epic to be at the forefront of consumer protection and provide the best experience for our players, the company added. The $245 million will be used to give affected customers refunds. As a result of the settlement, Epic Games is no longer permitted to use dark patterns going forward and is required to ask customers for permissions during charging them. That's how it should be. The order also prohibits the business from preventing customers from accessing their accounts in order to contest unauthorized charges. Epic Games has also agreed to pay a $275 million fine to settle FTC claims, and the company violated the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, COPPA, rule according to a separate agreement that was made public in December of 2022. That's some shady shit. Can you imagine being a parent and you're looking at your credit card statement And you're seeing all these charges from like Epic Games and Fortnite because it's just so easy. Folks, you got to watch what your kids are doing. You got to watch what you link your cards to. It's slimy. They're very slimy. This is what they do. I mean, we didn't have this problem during the Oregon Trail days. I'm just going to say from what Rumble Chat's saying over here, it's true. We didn't have this like, you broke an axle. You're going to try and ford the river for like $5.99, get an extra whatever float to get across. Like, no, they didn't do that. Do you still remember those games, guys? I remember going into, a computer lab, and we had math blasters. Spaceman Spiff, the Oregon Trail. Goddamn dysentery. These were classics. They were great. Rockstar Games is just as bad as what they're saying in the chat. I haven't played GTA in a long time. I don't know, because I think that's pretty much who they're known for is GTA, Grand Theft Auto. But listen to this. San Francisco Bay Area bans gas furnaces and water heaters. Interesting. Math Blasters, yes. I remember Math Blasters. That was a great one. Math Blasters was freaking amazing. San Francisco Bay Area bans gas furnace and water heaters. Regulators in the San Francisco Bay Area voted Wednesday to eliminate the sale and installation of natural gas-powered furnaces and water heaters over 8 years beginning in 2027, ostensibly to limit air pollution. So you're going to put more strain on the electrical grid because I'm assuming it's going to have to be electric. You got to be kidding me. This is how stupid they are, folks. The vote was the latest step taken by left-wing jurisdictions against natural gas, a convenient and relatively clean-burning source of fuel. Bay Area regulators voted Wednesday to adopt rules to phase out the sale and installation of natural gas furnaces and water heaters over the next 8 years, one of the most ambitious plans in the country to replace gas appliances with electric alternatives. Well, where are you getting your electricity from? It's usually something that's powered by gas or coal or something similar. And then when you put too big of a strain on it, you're going to have what's already going on in California, which is known as rolling blackouts. You know, they were talking about trying to ban gas-powered mowers and leaf blowers, wanting to ban gas cars. California is a shithole. I don't know why anybody would want to live in that shithole of a state with that just garbage leadership. Garbage. It's beyond me. It really is. It's just sad. But let it burn. I don't give a fuck. Greta Thunberg. These are liberals. These are liberals. Greta Thunberg reportedly deletes 2018 tweet claiming climate change will wipe out all of humanity by 2023. What? You mean she got it wrong? No. Come on. Greta? 20-year-old little freaking moron? No. How could she get that wrong? She's so well-versed on climate change. She's an expert, isn't she? I'm sure she's attended university to such an extravagant level. She's visited these places, worked in these labs. I mean, she is a scientist, right? Oh, no, that's right. She's kind of retarded, isn't she? Oh, yeah. Climate activist Greta Thunberg has reportedly deleted a 2018 tweet warning that climate change will wipe out all of humanity by 2023 if fossil fuel usage continued. Didn't Al Gore make a speculation about that? Back in the 90s, I think it was. Early 2000s. Yeah. Aren't we supposed to be under like 10 feet of water right now? 20-year-old Swedish activist tweet referred to a grim warning from Harvard University professor of atmospheric chemistry, James Anderson, who claimed that the pollution as a result of burning fossil fuels is pushing the climate back 33 million years to an era where there were no ice caps at the poles. Well, I guess he was wrong too, wasn't he? But I thought he was an expert. I thought he was a scientist. I thought he knew what he was talking about. So we have to believe all the science, believe all the whammons, right? Or maybe it's because there's a political agenda that is rooted in money that they buy into. Everybody knows you don't go full Greta Tombstone on Rumble. Good Lord. He's not wrong. The tweet dated June 21st of 2018 quoted an article that cited Anderson stating, a top climate scientist is warning that climate change will wipe out all of humanity unless we stop using fossil fuels over the next 5 years. However, the article from the now defunct gritpost.com does not accurately summarize Anderson's remarks, which he made while speaking at the University of Chicago in 2018. Thunberg was 15 when she posted the tweet with the warning in 2018. Okay, Anderson is not quoted in the article saying the end of humanity is just years away, but rather that changes must be made by 2023 to stop irreparable damage to the ice caps. The chance that there will be any permanent ice left in the Arctic after 2022 is essentially zero. Anderson is quoted as saying at the University of Chicago in the Griff.com story linked to Thunberg's tweet. Thunberg has been outspoken climate change activist since she was a teenager. The post was not able to independently verify whether or not Thunberg had in fact deleted the tweet. Conservative commentators pounced earlier this week on claims that the 20-year-old Swedish activist had pulled back on her claims that the world would come to an end in just 5 years, referring to a screen grab of a tweet allegedly posted by Greta with the quote. Charlie Kirk, founder of the Grifting Point USA, I added that, wrote in a tweet Sunday that one of the best headlines of the year so far, Greta Thunberg deletes 2018 saying the world, blah, blah, blah. This is what you get when you believe these idiots. This is what you get. Blind leading the blind. And people just eat this shit up. They just eat it up, folks. I'm just amazed. I'm amazed. We have adults believing this crap. Listen to this. I believe this came from who was it, Minnesota, a mayor up there. These are liberal parents. Now listen to this.
This is life-affirming and life-saving healthcare. When our children tell us who they are, it is our job as grown-ups to listen and to believe them.
One more time.
Let's be clear. This is life-affirming and life-saving
Transgenderism.
healthcare.
Really. This part.
When our children tell us who they are, it is our job as grown-ups to listen and to believe them.
So if my child says that she is an astronaut, if my child says she's a horse, if my child says that she is a dragon, do I now, as an adult, have to believe them? You see, I can't believe I even have to explain this. I can't believe this is even an issue. People really buy into this? Your job as an adult to tell the children, like, yes, your imagination's wonderful, but no, not really. But when I make a statement like, my child thinks that she's a horse. Well, no, John, clearly she's not. But you make no disparagement, or you make no beef when that girl says I'm a boy. Then it's believable. But if it's a horse, it's not. Well, you're changing everything about yourself physically to be the opposite sex. How is it any different than transspeciesm, which is a thing, by the way? As an adult, it is our job to listen. No, it's your job to tell them to shut the fuck up. They're kids. They are children. They don't know any better. But you see, when a child says something like this is how these disgusting people are. They see this as an opportunity to virtue signal their woke narrative agenda and jump on these kids and brainwash them. This is why the trans movement exists to the level that it does. It's disgusting. You are using these children as pawns in your political game. I'm just, wow. Just wow. If that's how you feel, you should not be a parent. These are liberals, folks. These are liberals. They're all feelings, and they're the fucking hippies of our generation. Disgusting, immoral, child grooming, degenerates of the LGBT. No. This is not how you parent. You can encourage having a large imagination to go out there and pursue your dreams, but you keep them grounded in reality. Try to tell a 3-year-old girl that it's okay, she can be a boy if she wants to. No, that's not the way society works. And I'm glad to see more and more people coming out against the trans community. They call us bigots. I say, fine, I don't care. I'll wear that bigot name very proudly. I am just appalled by conservatives, primarily, that would ever accept drag. As long as it's not hurting anybody. We're beyond that. This is where we've gotten to. It's sad to see this. And it's not shocking. These are liberals. They have no business being parents. None. Now, I did see a lot of people talking about how some drag shows had their liquor licenses canceled by DeSantis over in Florida. And I'm sitting here going like, well, no. That's crumbs. I want them in jail. I want the business shut down. Canceling their liquor license, it's essentially going to starve their business, yes. But at the same token, that's not enough. These perverts should be in prison. They should be in prison. And folks, I tell you what I really think over on my Telegram channel. I can't say it here because, I don't want to get in trouble. I'll tell you what I really think. It's crazy. Here's the Telegram channel. You can go join it over there. I post what I really think over there. I'm going to start getting more involved in the Telegram channel because essentially that's just where we can pass all the information off. I encourage you to join it. I get banned on Facebook. I get banned on it. They have shadow banned me into non-existent. I'm over on TikTok too. Did you know that? Just John Burke over there. You don't see hardly any of my videos anymore. They have banned me so hard, shadow banned me so hard. We saw the Twitter files kind of prove all of this, what we kind of speculated about for the longest time. It's true. I have a Facebook page with 29,000 followers. I'm lucky if 200 see a video I post. That's how pathetic it is. That's how pathetic it is. They are so scared. Or you can come over to Rumble, John Burke over on Rumble. Go follow me over there. And the podcast is downloaded on every channel that you can think of. All right, here it is. Trump versus DeSantis. The grift continues. Turning point influencers and the like are launching massive attacks on the DeSantis campaign. If they have Trump in their name, so-and-so for Trump, this ethnic group for Trump, these people for Trump, I can already tell you they're going to be Trump cultists and loyalists. They're trying to slant DeSantis left and right. And it's pathetic. Because if it is truly about what's best for this country, and we can put these two side by side and see who we feel would be the best fit, shouldn't that be an option? But already, you had these turning point influencer networks that are launching massive hits on DeSantis. I'm waiting for Kirk to come out and do it, if he hasn't already. Benny Johnson, Sobasek, all these dudes, they're Trump loyalists. Just saying. Just watch. Watch. It's on Twitter. Watch the attacks on DeSantis. It's crazy. The cult of Trump is dangerous. And Trump continues to go after DeSantis. He's just accused him of basically inflating prices as far as insurance. He has nothing to do with that. And people talk about these like DeSantis is a WEF plant. Prove it. Where are we seeing this? That's what they're going with. They're saying that DeSantis is the neocon. Last I checked, it wasn't DeSantis that made horrible fucking picks in his own administration. Did Antifa get labeled as domestic terrorists? And people's like, well, he got the wall. No, he didn't. And the wall is not a fix. Good. If we're going to do the wall, fine. I get it. But the wall does not economically fix the issue that we are facing. You can build the wall. They'll find ways around it. There's got to be economic penalties. Did you know the average illegal immigrant that's over here incarcerated costs us on taxpayer about $90,000 a year? They get released back to Mexico and they come right the fuck back. You see that smack in the chat who says he's a plant. And I asked him, he said, ha, this guy is seeing the division. Listen up, watch and learn. No, give me the proof that he's a WF plant. You can't. You never do. You see, that's why your types are making people more and more want to turn to voting for DeSantis, because your cult is stupid. The Q cult is stupid. The Trump cult is stupid. It should be about who the best person for the job is. And the more that Trump attacks DeSantis and DeSantis ignores it, Trump's digging his own grave at this point. People are getting fed up with it. There's no need for this. There's no need for this infighting. DeSantis hasn't even launched a presidential campaign yet. Do I think he will? I don't know. But Trump's now trying to go after him. Listen to this. This is how insecure Trump is at this point. Pro-Trump Super PAC files ethics complaint. You see, that's what I'm saying. The schmack dude right here, he says, this guy is a plant. Who planted me? Who planted me? The World Economic Forum? You see, these are the QAnon morons that I'm telling you about. Pay attention to this guy in the chat. I love that we're conducting the social media experiment right here because he will not answer the question. If you can prove what you just said, I will agree with you. But you're not even giving me proof. What you're just saying, this guy is a plant. Listen to him seeding the division. You just said that DeSantis is a plant. You're feeding into it as well. So that point is irrelevant. I can't because I can't give you an attachment. Give me proof. And you know it. No, you can give me proof. Prove it. Trump is dominating the polls. Trump's losing support left and right. And which polls are you referring to? I'm a plant. If I disagree with you, now I'm an NPC or a Putin apologist or all these other things. Have people talking about how DeSantis, it's ridiculous at this point. And that's why I said these types of people are dangerous. They are cultists. They don't think for themselves. All they do is worship God, King Trump. So I'm waiting for it. I'm a World Economic Forum plant, which, okay. I mean, if I'm at least getting accused of it, I wish I could get a paycheck from him. That'd be nice. Give me some of that Klaus Schwab money. I love it. Now DeSantis is calling for constitutional carry in Florida, and people are attacking him for it, especially the Trump cult. Yet Trump attacked the Second Amendment. Is that or is that not true? For me, it's I want the man or the woman that best aligns with the Constitution. DeSantis is taking on Disney. Now, by the way, I got some great news for you guys. Wednesday, we're going to have a January 6th person that was tried on the show. And she's actually a Trump supporter, which I'm fine with. Cool, do your thing. But one of my questions is, where is Trump on these January 6th political prisoners? You remember Ali Asaline or whatever, I forget it was. We saw him on the Alex Jones thing when he hosted Nick Fuentes and Kanye. He had some points on there. It's like Trump has been MIA. Where's he at? Now, I know why Trump can't engage with that because it's going to make him look bad. Do I think Trump was responsible for January 6th? No, I don't. I really don't. I don't. We sat there, we watched it. Trump's not responsible. But Marjorie Taylor Greene is like spearheading a lot of this stuff. Respect on that one. I'll give her that one. Trump Super PAC, Make America Great Again, Inc., has filed an ethics complaint against Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, accusing the governor of engaging in illegal conduct running a shadow presidential campaign. A March 14th letter to the Florida Commission of Ethics asserts that DeSantis has used pro-DeSantis super PACs as well as state-level campaign contributions and his personally lucrative book tour to prop himself on the national stage as he essentially runs a shadow president campaign. They're scared. Anytime you see Trump attack somebody, it's out of insecurities. He's gone after DeSantis for a while now, and DeSantis is not returning fire. He shouldn't. Don't return fire. But now you've got the Super PAC wanting to go after DeSantis by saying, oh, he's pretending not to run, but he's secretly running. No, he's not. He's made no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The only thing he really said about it was when the news reporter asked him, he's like, wouldn't you like to know? Okay. This is really where we're at now. And people say we need to get away from this infighting. No, we need this infighting. Mainly for me, I want to see the turning point and all these other cultist influencers get exposed for what they truly are. They don't fucking care about liberty. They don't care about truth. They care about making that dollar. Article just busted about the DNC influencers. Brooklyn Dad Defiant, all these people, they're actually paid. It was proven. They are paid. There's photos of them all over Twitter when they attended this event together. Every single one of these influencers, JoJo, the bitch duck, and that weird-looking cunt, and the rest of them, all in the same room, and it's led by Brooklyn Dad Defiant. It was proven. Now, if they do it on the left, and you believe that, how hard is it to believe that they do it on the right? It's an effective tactic because people are stupid enough to believe what they read on Twitter as if it's truth. It's crazy. If Trump continues down this road, He's going to lose a lot of support. If DeSantis makes his bid, we'll see. Congressman Chip Roy is now backing DeSantis for president. Trump is losing his base. He is losing his support. What supporters he did have that were not neocons are going to go over to DeSantis. The way forward for Trump is to just shut up. Be 2016 Trump. Focus on the things that got you the support it did in the beginning. But these continued attacks at DeSantis, you don't need to do it. You do not need to do it. Think about this. Think about if Trump didn't say anything about DeSantis. And he just kept going after the left, saying, we want to fix this. We want to fix this, yada, 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 yada. Okay, you're not going to lose any support. DeSantis can make his bid. He'll never gain the traction. Trump has given him traction. He's given him the traction. The more attention that Trump puts on DeSantis, the more of the spotlight is taken away from Trump and the more that Trump hates this. This petty infighting is stupid. But Trump knows DeSantis is probably going to run. That's why he's trying to torpedo his campaign before it even gets off the ground. I guarantee that's what he's doing right now. Guarantee. Then you got these grifters like Laura Loomer. I saw her Twitter making fun of this Christina Pusha. I don't even know who this woman is. Making fun of her knees. This is real. Real. One of the biggest grifters out there. Making fun of somebody's knees because she's on Team DeSantis? Excuse me, Loomer. Have you seen you? You really want to talk bad about anybody? You want to talk shit about anybody? Look at you. This is crazy to me. And here we are. I'm going by their actions. And I'm going right now, DeSantis. Just the truth. DeSantis took on Disney and won. DeSantis is getting rid of the gay books out of schools. He's leading the way. He's going for constitutional carry. Did Trump push for any of that? Weird. Sorry. It's just, I think the more that Trump talks, the more he just shoots himself in the foot. I can't even imagine being that guy's campaign manager. I just can't. But here we are. If Trump was smart, get back on Twitter. Get back on Twitter. I would love to see him on Twitter. But here's what it is. Well, folks, that does it for today's show. I still got a lot of business I got to get to today. Got a lot of things going on. Appreciate you tuning in today. Like I said, Josh is going to be out on vacation. He'll be coming back Monday for Monday's show. So appreciate you there. If you haven't done so, make sure you go follow the Telegram channel. I'm going to link it in here for you. Boom. There's the link. Go join it. That's where we're going to stay in the know. Stay in the know right there. You can also post memes in the channels too. And we got a great group of people over there. So go check it out. Telegram, John Burke. Make sure you go follow me on Rumble if you haven't done so already. We really appreciate that. Share with your friends. And don't forget to check out shellshockcbd.com, sponsor of the show. Next week, we open up with goldco.com. Excited to have them as a show sponsor. Appreciate them being here. Sorry the show was a little short today. I'm a little scatterbrained. Got a lot of things going on. No, I'm not doing drunken debates anymore. I just don't have time. I don't have time. I had to keep backing out because things were coming up. I love Rob, Aftershock. They do a great job. I appreciate them. I do not have the time anymore. And I hate that because I do enjoy it, but it's just one of those things by the time I get home, I don't feel like doing anything. That's the problem. So anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. Appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of the Savage Army. And again, go join the Telegram channel. I'll be chatting with some people. I'm going to have that open on my desktop after the show so I can chat with people and bullshit in there while I'm getting work done. So again, there is the link. Go to Telegram. We appreciate it all. So until tomorrow, folks, stay savage, America.